Pedestrian crossings. So we have various types of pedestrian crossing. We have zebra, pelican, puffin, toucan, Pegasus. The Pegasus is also known as an equestrian crossing. So with the zebra crossings, if we look at them first, they're identifiable by the black and white posts and by the flashing beacons as we approach. Got the orange globes on top of the posts which flash continuously, so should be easily identifiable. So crossings and signage on the way to them is often missed when people learn to drive because they're so busy looking at the road and controlling the car, but this is a very crucial thing to learn about crossings. So the only difference in variation with the zebra crossing is when it's split by an island. If it's split by an island, it's treated as two separate crossings. In comparison, we have the older fashioned type crossing, which is called a pelican crossing with the flashing amber light. With the flashing amber light, obviously a normal traffic light sequence for the stop. If the crossing is empty, we can proceed across on the flashing amber. However, care must be taken that pedestrians are not suddenly going to decide to walk across the road as that light is flashing, so the crossing must be completely empty before we proceed across. Again, in comparison is the puffin crossing. This is the intelligent crossing, so it has sensors on top of the traffic lights, a camera system which is monitoring pedestrian feet movement and scanning where the pedestrians are. Normal traffic light sequence on the approach. MSM procedure is normal, and this will apply to all the crossings at MSM on the way to them. And when the puffin crossing becomes empty, we get a normal traffic light sequence and we proceed across on green. A similar crossing is the toucan crossing. Toucan crossing, think about it like that. Obviously these are all birds, but we think of toucan cross. So we have the ability here to have pedestrians and cyclists cross at the same point. So the crossing is slightly wider, and you can see the the broken white lines either side of it as we approach. So the equestrian or Pegasus crossing is obviously for horse and rider, and we often see the buttons are high level as we approach the crossing. You'll see actually the push button for the pedestrian is actually quite normal, quite low level, so children can reach it. The button's obviously much higher, so the horse and rider can actually reach the button as opposed to the normal one with the button's quite low down. So as I said, the procedure on the way to these is mirrors. Again, why mirrors? We're changing speed quite rapidly, aren't we? Sometimes these lights change quite quickly. So mirrors, signal, foot on the brakes. Manoeuvre, stopping the car. We must ensure the crossing is left open if we're in heavy traffic. So therefore we must not proceed across the crossing and block the crossing at any point. Again, that's in the highway code for driving. So I'll give a few examples now of crossings that are done in real life. The MSM procedure is followed on the way to them. We're scanning right and left at the crossing as we approach, and the first one I'm going to show you actually has a pedestrian hidden behind cars on the right hand side. This particular crossing is very dangerous. It's hard to see to the right hand side and it's really badly placed, but again, it's our responsibility as drivers to ensure that we scan right and left on the approach and you're slow enough that you can stop easily without a hard stop. So on the way to this one, you can already see the flashing beacons up ahead. So we can identify, we need to scan to the right, left, right as we approach, looking across there continuously. It's hard to see that right hand side there with that bus being there and them cars coming through. So at this junction here we can see the push buttons on all the traffic lights. So here we've got the crossings are mixed in with the actual traffic junction itself. We can see the islands there where the pedestrians would cross. So that's a normal junction there with pedestrianisation mixed in. Very normal to see in today's world. So as we approach the next set of lights, we can see there's a pedestrian standing on the right hand side. So I recommend we still do the MSM routine, whether anyone is there or not. Use the traffic lights on the crossings as a trigger for updating that centre mirror, because things could change rapidly. So always MSM on the way to any crossings, whether we're going to use it for a stop or not. So on this piece of road here, we've got double crossing together. We're going to turn right at the next junction. We've got zebra crossing initially, followed by one on the turn as well. So this requires planning and awareness as you turn in. So I'd recommend you turn them corners slowly and scan looking into that new piece of road as you turn in there. Don't approach them things fast. So we can see up ahead here, we've got a set of green traffic lights and beyond that a set of red ones. We've got a pedestrian crossing, a toucan crossing. followed by a set of junction lights. Now the junction lights are not mixed in with the crossing as such. So as we turn the corner of this junction, we'll see immediately another set of pedestrian lights. Again, it's been separated out of the junction itself. It's been kept away from the junction. So that junction is not incorporating any pedestrianisation crossings in the light sequence. So we're heading into a shopping centre now, supermarket. As we turn the corner, obviously we're scanning the left-hand side for pedestrians on the turn-in, and immediately we turn in, we've got a zebra crossing on the ground. As we get further into the car park, we're going to see another series of zebra crossings. So we treat these exactly the same as we do the ones on the road. So we're scanning right and left, using the MSM procedure on the way to any of the crossings we come across. So looking up ahead as we're driving down this road near the UEA, we can see currently got green traffic lights up ahead. But them traffic lights there are used very frequently by students for crossing into the village. So we can see up ahead now gone to orange and we're going to red. So mirrors, signal, foot on the brakes, slowing nice and early, manoeuvre, stopping the car if needed at the stop line. So the lights are now changing back to a normal traffic light sequence of green and we can proceed across. So looking at our crossing layout there, obviously we can see we've got the solid white stop line. We've got the studs in between where the horse and rider are actually moving across the crossing. We've got the zigzag lines around the crossing. So normal stop at the stop line. Obviously no parking on the zigzags at any time. The signage near crossings can be numerous types of sign. Obviously you can see on the example here we've got a new zebra crossing and a picture of the crossing with the studs and someone walking across it. Then below that we've got a warning there for school as well. So obviously there's going to be a pedestrianised area by the looks of it near a school. Moving across slightly, we've got a pedestrian crossing, perhaps somewhere like a construction site. There's normally blue back signs around a construction site, so again if you're driving onto that sort of place, be aware of the signage. Again, with this sign here, we've obviously got the red potential traffic roadworks sign, and this is another crossing point, a temporary crossing point for pedestrians. The stop line is replaced by the sign, so we should pull up within a metre of that sign if there's no cones and things in the way. And they're not very uniform how they lay them out, so there could be things in the way. Looking at the next set of signs, we've got a zebra crossing. We've got a warning there for no footpath, so we're going to have pedestrians in the carriageway. We've got another sign which says frail pedestrians likely to cross, and a warning for disabled people crossing. So the thing with the frail and the disabled people is they may need more time to cross the road. This may also be on a non-official crossing. So you may drive down a road and find these signs placed obscurely, perhaps near a care home or something. So it's warning us there that people from that place may be coming out and walking. They may take longer to cross the road. So I thought it'd be interesting just to go through some statistics quickly. So looking at the statistics we have here, this is the amount of casualties, and it's fallen slightly from a year ago, but we can see our highest categories here as pedestrians. And these are our three vulnerable group of road users: motorbikes, cyclists, pedestrians, with the pedestrians being the greater one of the three. So another thing to be aware of here is the general statistics for road traffic accidents. And we can see on this government information here from 2023, people killed in urban areas is 571 and 969 on rural roads. So on rural roads, you often get no footpaths and things, they're extremely dangerous. The highest number on here is actually in urban roads. So in pedestrianised areas, we've actually got 83,452. So that's all casualties. It's not fatalities. That's including fatalities. That's all accidents that have occurred in them areas. So you can see quite clearly that the urban driving is the most dangerous of all in terms of that. Okay, so it's noted that every 17 minutes someone is killed or seriously injured on the roads. So the purpose of us learning to drive must be done in a safe way. That's what we're ultimately aiming to do. That's why all these things are really important when you learn to drive. It's a lot of information to take in when you first learn. However, we do have to learn it because if you do knock someone over and you're doing something wrong, if you were speeding, for example, the likelihood is you'll end up going to prison. So it's very important to try and get these procedures and things right so you're doing the right things when you're driving.